Hi guys, it's Ed here, and this training is on how to draw a motivational dip graph. Okay, how to draw that graph which explains to people, how the 2%ers will take action to momentum, how other people will go into the dip, and how their inspiration is going to be lost. Okay, and it is so important that you know how to do this because it explains how motivation works and how people need to be helped in the business. And if you don't understand it, you will get this business wrong. Okay? Now, before I draw this graph on here and show you how to draw it, you need to be clear about the development pathway graph. And I'm not going to draw it now. It's on the training. You need to go through it because you need to be so clear that to be successful in a network marketing business, you make a little bit of money from a lot of people. The only way you get a lot of people is by creating momentum growth. And you only create momentum growth by growing your team fast enough that you overcome attrition, and that requires you to take massive urgent action for maybe up to 12 months. And that requires a level of commitment, motivation, and therefore confidence in success, that if you don't have that, you won't succeed. And so to be successful in this business, you've got to have that high confidence to be able to create momentum, okay? And if you don't, you will fail, okay? Because every leader in the world has always had that, all right? Now, with that in mind, we want to know, how does motivation work, okay? And the way it works is like this, is that we have a graph, okay? Positive motivation, negative motivation. What happens is that some people join and they take massive urgent action from the day they join. And what happens is that massive urgent action creates results, which builds their confidence, which builds their motivation, and so they create a positive cycle of motivation, okay? And so they go up there. This is momentum, okay? So they can create momentum. All right? Sounds good? Now, what happens with the other people, the normal people, what happens is they start performing skills and they don't get the results, so their confidence and therefore their motivation drops. Okay, can you see how that goes like that? And it will keep dropping unless obviously someone can help them go out of this dip and then turn it round and go off to momentum. Okay? So it's important that you know there's one graph there, one curve there, there's one curve there, and then there's one curve there. And the goal here is to get to momentum. All right? Now, so that is fundamentally the curves. Now, what we need to do is to help people understand them. And the key thing to understand is when people join the business, there is only 2% of people, 2% of people have that natural confidence, or normally such a desperate situation that forces them into massive urgent action, MUA, forces them into massive urgent action, which creates the results, builds the confidence, and takes them off to momentum. Okay? So when we start in the business, the key thing is not so much motivation, it's the confidence. And so what happens, the first type of confidence is what's called inspirational confidence. The second type is called results confidence. And so what happens is when people join the business, obviously it's all on inspiration. Hey, this is a great opportunity, maybe I can succeed, and then they see all success stories. And so it's important that in what I call a fast start program has a large inspirational element, and we find out who are those people that are going to charge off to success. These guys are what's called self-learners, self-motivators, okay? That's the 2%ers, okay? Now, the challenge is obviously is for the 98%, all right? The 98%. And so for the 98%, you just write 98% there. These people are normal. 98% means you're normal. And what happens with them is that they have some inspiration, but the fact is they don't get the results. It reduces their confidence, and so obviously their motivation drops. All right? Now, the critical thing to understand here is that there is a level, and this is the inspiration line. And above the line, the dream zone, below the line, dark zone. Above the line, an inspirational confidence will motivate you to action. Below the line, inspirational confidence will not motivate you into action. And that's such an important point. And if you don't get it, what happens is that what I do is I see this all the time is people trying, with the people that are there, they're trying to go inspiration, get them to a meeting, get them to an inspiration. And they're so used to dealing with just these guys that they're using the same strategy with this things, and it's just naive. It's naive. It doesn't work. And that's why in organizations that only really have a fast start program and lots of inspiration, and hey, let's get some results in 72 hours, what happens is they end up with a 98% failure rate. And a 98% failure rate means that your growth will always collapse. You can have the most spectacular boom in the world, but because the failure rate attrition is too high, it collapses. Ha-ha. Okay? Any of you who have experienced a boom bust in your business will understand this so clearly. And what we need to do is to understand that there is a third type of confidence, and that is called competence. Competence in skills. And this works for us because the skills necessary for success, be they the 3 basic skills, retail, sponsor, coach, or the leadership skills, can be learned by everyone because the competence standard is not that high. And therefore, the only way to get people out of there is through competence-based confidence. People have to learn skills for competence. Not just learn skills, they have to learn them for competence. And the key thing, which I originally didn't realize, but I've worked out over the years, is that these people are self-motivated, self-learning. These people are not. The 98% are not. They must have coaching, okay? They must have coaching to build their confidence, to build their motivation to get out and then to be able to dream again, for that to have an impact, and for them to take massive urgent action to create momentum. But it's not just any sort of coaching or mentoring and teaching or all of that sort of stuff. It's a specific form of coaching called competence-based coaching, or what I call, because I developed the strategy, is called 100% coaching. And that's it. And if you don't know how to 100% coach, you won't be able to develop that confidence in people, and you will have a 98% failure rate. So no matter how well you do, your business will eventually collapse. And that's the way it works. And people say, well, hey, why should I do this? And what I believe is that of everyone who joins the business, even though they have a motivation, they have a desire to succeed, only 25% of those people that join actually are willing to do the work. Okay, and if you've been in the business, you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, they have all the motivation, but even though they have the confidence, they don't take the action because for some reason they don't want to do it. And so I know that this could be 25%. Yet currently, if you just have that, it's only 2%. And so the potential of this is 23%. And so what you're doing is you're effectively increasing the number of leaders or potential leaders, because they're going into momentum. out of every 100 people who join your team, you're increasing it by potentially up to 10 times. The financial impact on that is just so dramatically large. It's crazy. You know, it's like 1 get 2 get 4 get 8 versus 1 get 5 get 25 get 125. It's an exponential difference. So let's just go through this one more time, and when you can do this, I hope you'll imagine how powerful it is, because it's just based on reality. And the reality is that motivation is controlled by confidence. Some people, when they join, will take massive urgent action that's necessary to create momentum for a number of reasons. Either they're naturally confident or they've got some sort of very tough times and they're motivated to take action, okay? But these people are self-motivated self-learners. Everyone else, they don't have the confidence, so what happens is their confidence will naturally drop as they perform the skills, and it won't go as well as it will, so it'll drop, and what happens is their confidence will drop into the dark zone, so they cannot be inspired to build confidence, and they're not getting the results to build confidence. The only way to get them out of the dip is through competence-based learning of skills, but because they're not self-learners, they need competence-based coaching that is specific to our industry, which is what I call 100% coaching. But that way you can get them out of the dip and into the dream zone and off towards momentum. The impact of this is from a 2% potential leaders to a 25% potential leaders. That's how we create a high-performance organization. That's how we tap into the true power of network marketing. I hope this training is valuable. The only way you're ever going to master it is by watching this video enough times and practicing it and then teaching it to other people. Does that make sense? I hope so. Rock and roll. I hope this is valuable. Bye-bye. See you later.